Reading outside my comfort zone. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. The self-help gurus say that to grow, we have to get outside our comfort zone. When I'm reading, my comfort zone, my comfort genres would be police procedural and historical fiction. If I'm going through a reading slump, if I pick up something like a Ruth Rendell, it's crime fiction, I know I'll have something that I'd like to read. There's a strong plot, the characters are interesting, and I want to find out what happens at the end. Being on BookTube, I've found I've picked up quite a few books which have been outside my comfort zone. This year, Anne Novella and Micah Cummins have started the Classics and Company, where they go through 8 different classics, and the first was Dangerous Liaisons. This was outside my comfort zone. My comfort zone goes back to about 1850. Anything before that is a bit outside my comfort zone. I do try to read Jane Austen every July because of Jane Austen July, but Dangerous Liaisons by Choderlos de Laclos was published in 1782, and it's an epistolary novel. Epistolary novel is a novel which is comprised of many letters. It was an interesting read. I read it in English. I could have read it in French, but that would be even further outside my comfort zone. It was an interesting plot. The characters were interesting. I just found it too long, and at the end it seemed a bit rushed, but this was outside my comfort zone, and I learned something about myself and about the world through venturing out of that comfort zone. Something else which was completely out of my comfort zone was Poking Holes. Poking Holes is 9 short stories by Juan Valencia. Juan has a BookTube channel, Plagued by Visions. I like his channel, but I found his writing very difficult. He writes disturbing fiction. There's a lot of physical and emotional pain in the stories. There's a lot of abuse. There's sexual abuse. There's the abuse of people in power, of people who don't have power. And there's almost every bodily fluid imaginable permeates the stories. It was not very comfortable reading. I managed to read all 9 stories, and the ones in the middle were the ones I liked probably the best. The first 3 were holes, which was very difficult to read through. Somebody was poking holes in this other person and getting their sexual kicks from that. It was very strange and very much outside my comfort zone. Something else out of my comfort zone are plays. I think this was because of school. At school, for the O-level, we had no novels. We had 2 plays and poetry. The plays we read were She Stoops to Conquer by Oliver Goldsmith, Richard II by Shakespeare. School really put me off plays. Last year in September, I read The Midsummer Night's Dream. The first time I read a comedy by Shakespeare for fun. And this month I started Plautus, The Pot of Gold and Other Plays. I read the play The Brothers Menachmus. This was written 200 years before Christ, so it's outside my time zone and it's a play, but I found it very readable and I found it very relatable. It's about these twins who are separated when they are 7, and later as adults one goes in search for the other, and there's a lot of comedy involved because they look identical and people mistake one for the other, and it leads to a lot of amusing situations. Have you been reading outside your comfort zone? Let me know in the comments below what you've been reading. How do you feel when you venture outside your comfort zone? If you like this video, you can like it below. This will help me with the algorithm, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.